All right, then welcome again. Yes, today a painting by Japanese artist Hokusai. Then we see a cherry tree blossom and the bird. Yeah, so bird is one of our favorite topics, so I thought this painting will match nicely. I know Darren, he did already a bit pre-sketch. What about you, Karen?
I've just roughed it out very loosely.
Okay,
so, yeah,
then
I have done a bit.
Just to know, then of course we will go again with some sketch phase, yes, and then move to the paint. So Darren, feel free to precise, you know, maybe like the bird, you know, can do a bit more precisely the bird on your sketch, and then the flowers, let's kind of, yeah, leave it generally.
Actually, that's what I've done, is I concentrated on the bird and then just went, oh, well, there's going to be a flower here and here and here.
Yeah,
good. I am quite happy to just leap straight in.
Good one, yeah. It's kind of logical, isn't it? So before I remove my paint, let's go through. Today will be a very interesting experiment in mixing colors. So it's also maybe like a question. So how can you get green color?
Yellow and blue.
Yeah, is there any other way you can get a green that is, let's say, like a bit muddy, you know, like a pound, or
stick some red in it?
Yeah.
I was thinking of brown, but
I mean, yeah, and generally, like, so if I want to get some muddy green, I would take, of course, let's say, yeah, blue and yellow, or I take green and I add some brown. But there is a really nice way we experiment today. You take just black and yellow. So these two colors will give you this brownish muddy green, and we will start it for kind of going these all lines and contours at the start, yeah, and then we add color. So yeah, these two, black and yellow, this will start. And the other colors, then you see I have this emerald green that I'll be mixing with white, and then I go here all around the branches. A little bit pink, yes, for the flowers, actually like pink mixed with yellow, so a bit more peachy. And then the blue, it's again, you can kind of feel free to choose your favorite blue. Since it's kind of big space we're covering, then it can be, of course, lighter or darker. It's more to your taste. Yeah? So colors moving to the side. And yeah. So I'll just anyway jump a little bit quickly on the sketch. So of course, let's say our branch very nicely. Yeah, it helps us with composition. Just kind of take a look, and it's also always nice when you do it. Let's say I look how this corner looks like. Yes, like what shape it has. A bit longer here, shorter here. So it actually I can also kind of copy these spaces. Yeah, let's say if not make it square, but make it longer, and yeah, and then checking. Okay, this branch on the side, it's actually kind of in the middle. Yeah, so it also helps me to find the position. Yeah, and then move to. Then we have here where the bird is. Yeah, and then also checking like, where the bird is, it actually takes smaller than the half. Yeah, so I shouldn't Yeah, so maybe it's not here, it's actually somewhere here, this branch, and I can sketch the bird. What I would advise, for example, Darren, since you're doing the bird, like take a closer look. Also, if you have the original somewhere on a phone, like check the legs. Yeah, how because with all these branches, they kind of also fit in and get lost a bit, but just a little bit more precise to do this, the legs. Yeah, so then the branch is going here. Yeah. Yeah, so this is very nice way, yeah, not to get lost in details, and we have all the yeah, then the birdie. So also interesting, for example, for the flowers, when I go with the pencil, I do just like, let's say, circles of these middle parts, but then later when we go with the paint, then I can straight away make these lines. And if you study the Hokusai painting, you can see he uses a lot of these lines, so around the flowers and of course the bird, and it kind of with these lines he's giving also the shape, yeah, the movement. So a little bit also with these green leaves. So those things, yeah, reflecting, I find very nice. And what also I found interesting and good in his composition, that he's touching the like, let's say this branch finishes here and the leaf is here. They're like, they have one point touch, and then the branch here is going to this flower, so it's ending in itself, but just visually it touches the flower. The same like the tail of the bird, and it gets connected. So there are a lot of these touch-ups, you know, when like this element is ending, but visually it's connected with another one. Yeah? So one can check also on these parts. Yeah? Let's say if you haven't paid attention, then you can here branch, the belly. Yeah, check how your bird is looking. He's fat, if he's skinny, if yeah, if that's the way you want him to be. Yeah, so the yeah, so something like this. Very nice. And oh yeah, and then the flowers. So of course I won't spend now here much time, since you both already have kind of pre-sketch. So just general, because of course I did also my pencil sketch where we're going to be painting. Yeah. So maybe just those parts I've mentioned, you can recheck. Yeah. And of course, you also allowed, let's say, maybe sometimes it's good, you can actually take just a fragment of a famous painting and copy it. Sometimes if it's kind of too big, you know, and it also helps to study the, okay, now I'm already here doodling with the, also, let's say maybe depending how you did the flower sketches, pay attention, because we will be doing these in 2 different colors. So we have these green leaves, yeah, that kind of all are half light green and half this dark, and they have also these lines, these stripes. And then we also have this kind of light green heads sitting on white, yeah, on closed flowers. And we will do them with a bit different green, yeah, warmer. So this is also, let's say, if you already have your big flowers and then maybe you have painted just like a circle, these small ones, you can now like go around and mark these heads. Yeah, so then of course later when you go with the color, then it's already easier. Yeah, but I think it gives nice touch. Yes, these yeah, because in general here I left just a white paper for flowers, and then yeah, there are just little pinky strokes. So this extra, let's say, tone, another color is kind of nice, gives some freshness. Yeah, so there's green heads. Yes. Also there is also one leaf right here on top. It's kind of, it's not connected to anyone, but it's going separately out. Somehow I find it nice. I find it gives nice touch. So there is kind of something else there. So this one little leaf on top. You know, maybe you want to have it as well. Yes, and so as I mentioned, yeah, the legs of the bird. Sometimes it's actually just, so since we have Hokusai painting, it's kind of just sometimes looking, you know, okay, line there. So not always you can kind of guess this shape. So sometimes you can, okay, just copy it. It's also, if it's a picture, you take a picture of the bird. Yeah, and sometimes the position maybe, then you just kind of, okay, horizontal, vertical, to make it yeah, look like. Because I mean, sometimes of course you can see it in an anatomical way, how the leg is turning, and but sometimes it's really difficult, and then I just kind of just graphically you know, let's say copy the how it looks. Okay, yeah, birdie. And I also noticed, very nice, there are two long stripes. So one is here, so where the bird is on the left, there's kind of one a bit longer leaf, line of the leaf, so somewhere here it goes, like this. And the other one here, like continuing here at the bottom. In general, there are almost no other lines like this. I mean, like if we don't take branches into account, yeah, but these ones of this green leaf. And I also find it nice just kind of making the accent there. These two curvy lines, they kind of repeat a little bit the bird, yeah, on the side. So yeah, of course, amazing artwork, composition, and there is also actually a poem inside this Japanese writing. I've so maybe if I can find, because of course I found it. It's like, you know, these famous Japanese poems that like haiku, so haiku poet. So Hokusai was the painter, and the other person who is the poet, he wrote this poem, and it says, a single bird wets. So a single bird wets its feathers and flits away. Morning cherry. Yeah. So this is this typical haiku poems. They're very short, consisting in 2 lines. And yeah, I don't know, if you go deep in this, I like them. Sometimes they're very romantic. Alrighty, yeah. Not to spend too much time talking. We can move to painting, because still lots of work. So what I suggest, mixing, as I said, black and warm green. Yeah, just try it. Just put one. So like put them apart. Here I put some black. Next to it, I'll put some yellow, and then we'll start mixing them slowly, step by step. Yeah, in the third kind of place. Yeah, and we can take, because then you will see which one you need more. Yeah, so, and of course, probably you will need black less in the amount. And oh, nice. I matched from the first touch a very nice greenish, exactly this. Yeah, for you probably, not sure, maybe would like here if I have the light. Yeah, you can maybe see on my palette. And it really looks very nice green. Exactly this muddy one. And so with this color, what I suggest is that you take a thin brush and yeah, if you're in the shop sometimes, you know, like my suggestion is also experiment and get this a bit, you see, longer brush. For example, now I will work with the shorter one because lots of small details around. But let's say if when I wanted to do these Japanese writing lines, then I've used this longer. Yeah, somehow it's nice in doing this. Yeah, for both of them, you need to have your brush wet, but with paint. Yeah, so this is with the opposite of the dry brush technique that we're using sometimes. Yeah, so I take my tiny brush and yeah, several times I go into the water, and here I have, and all I do now without much thinking, actually just like all around the painting, even around the white flowers, I just go with the lines. Yeah, and just to, you know, make it quicker and help yourself, those parts of the green leaves, those halfway leaves, so the darker part, I can make like here straight away color the half, and the other one just the contour. Yeah, and then of course the white flowers just the contour. Yeah, and like no, you know, like freely, just I understand sometimes might be a bit scared, maybe, but if you do it like with a quick movement, yeah, then it will be working nicely. And then of course I come back to refill, and this is also the moment where I can do these lines inside the white flowers. Yes, and don't be lazy, move your hand so the lines are kind of, yeah, because if I keep my hand in one position and move just the brush, then of course the strokes will anyway be a bit so kind of just go with your hand around. Yeah, so now the task is just yeah, precise it all. Yeah. If it's easier for you, maybe you, let's say, you can start with the branch, and since it's also kind of it's good directional, and the same. If you see where you see those darker parts on the branch, yeah, here let's say they are on top, straight away I can put there more paint. Yes, on one side I put just one line, like with the green leaves, and the other side I already color. Yeah, so of course it will be a help to work, you know, quicker in the future. You already have those defined. And of course, then try to feel. Of course, when I just fill in my brush with paint, it's fresh. I know there is a lot of paint, so I can think and start, you know, with those parts where there are darker points. Let's say, like, if I go to the branch, then I go to the side where this, all these dots, and then later I feel there is less paint on my brush, and it leaves thinner lines, also lighter. And this is the moment I use it for those parts where I know, like around the flowers, yes, where it's light and thin. Yeah, so kind of, and again, I fill in my brush. So new, lots of paint, and then I can kind of waste this paint on the side of the green leaves, this side that is with this dark part. Yeah, and then once the paint is going away, yeah, then so it's kind of, I jump around the painting. So let's say, yeah, if I need to do it, kind of leave my paint somewhere where a lot of, then I just go to this part. And then so the idea for this painting was, I was traveling last week, and in train station there is the bookstore, and of course that's a favorite part, you know, while you're waiting for the train, you go there and study what's there. And it was the book for Hokusai. If it wouldn't be on German, I would buy it. I mean, it's just comfortable more in English, so I can just look on internet. So it's, I think, Taschen publicity, but it was very nice. Like what I've looked around in this book was lots of interesting, something that I've never seen of his work. And there was this, of course, this painting. So I said, aha, let's see, it's good for our lessons.
Evie, would you show me a leaf again?
Yes, leaf, like what you mean, like the
like how you start them, because at the moment I haven't done any at all, because I'm just like, oh, how do you do leaves?
All right, yes. So what I do, yes, so my brush, I make it water a bit, so just kind of, but always when I put my brush, never like very deep, just always just touching, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's also, otherwise it's too wet
Yeah.
and it will be all too flowing. And then I go with my wet brush in my paint, kind of refill it.
Yeah.
Now it's wet and with paint. And then, okay, let's say here, maybe somewhere below. Then I start with those parrots who have, the darker side, and just kind of, just the lines like this. Just
Okay.
and then when there is less paint, then I just do like the contour of the other side. Let's say. So it's actually literally just
a few little lines.
Just lines, exactly. Yes, they're going like in a splashes. So one longer, one shorter.
Yeah.
And and to the leaf, so kind of the half leaf I fill in, and then I leave empty paper and do the contour on the other side.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's thank you for asking, because and how you feel this green color? Did you manage? Does it look?
Yes. I've got a dark green and it looks fine to me.
Nice, yeah.
It's possibly a bit greener than yours, but you know.
It's also actually, it's always so, because I see also what you see on the screen of computer, of the laptop, and I see it's brown there.
Yeah.
But when I see here on my paper, then it's green. So it's it's changing, and yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's often that when I paint during the lesson, and then like on purpose I change a bit intensity, because I see that on the screen it doesn't look like this, and probably students don't get it.
Yeah.
So I kind of make maybe darker, some pink, where in the real life I would go, let's say, with transparent or something. Yeah, but it's also proves how it changes, and that's why it's, of course, like very good to paint outside.
Yeah.
And then just remember, of course, like you paint outside, and also you take a picture. So maybe at home you want to work more, but you kind of remember what were the colors, or actually try to make a quick sketch of the colors that you felt are there. Yeah, because photograph, of course, modifies.
Yeah.
And but it's not also bad. I mean, it depends what your aim is. Because photograph, of course, very nice. You can do also nice combinations. And so, for example, also I go now darker where the legs of the birds are. Yeah, it's both because the branch there looks bigger, so it's also kind of an accent. So the viewer is looking there, because of course the bird is the hero. Darren, are you familiar with this type of bird?
I'm not sure. It partly looks like it could be a chaffinch, perhaps, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So the name of the painting is Bullfinch.
Bullfinch, yep.
Yeah. So, but of course, the name of the bird sometimes
very similar sort of family. So.
So do you see them in England, those ones?
We do have bullfinches,
Yeah.
don't we, Darren?
Yeah.
We do. I don't tend to see too many where I live, but I know they are around. Where I am, it's more chaffinches and goldfinches, but
Mhm.
very similar sort of birds. Very
Yeah.
similar.
Nice. How's going, Darren, with this contour?
Yeah, I've got a green there, so
Yeah.
it's not a vivid green, but it's like on your screen where it is a sort of a murky sort of
Yeah.
darkish green. So
yeah. It also should be
it's
not
working.
not vivid. Exactly. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So, for example, also where the bird is, I can also go with this greenish, and then later I can kind of darken up some lines of the bird. Huh?
I've never done this before. It's kind of like a loose sketching with a paintbrush, isn't it?
Yay, yes. And yeah, it kind of maybe helps precise a bit the pencil sketch. And it's also very common if you start painting, especially with the oils, you just take this kind of light brownish paint and you do the sketch of everything with it. Yeah, because then later you can cover I mean, even if there are light parts, you sketch them with this light brown, just like using it as a pencil. Then, instead, let's say, having a pencil sketch and then already going directly with the colors that corresponds to each part, using paint as a pencil. It's also practical, I think also. Yes, for example, if let's say you've finished all the lines, what one can also do is just kind of making darker maybe some parts where you see, okay, maybe this part of the bird is a bit darker, or there, like the group of leaves, this darker side. So yeah, in case if this is the moment where you have kind of all just one the same darkness, then it just like looking and choosing the accents. Yeah, let's see where it feels dark. Let me just put a few more strokes there. Yeah, so let me know how you're doing. Yeah, of course, we shouldn't spend much time on this stage. It's really more, we will be coming back and back of retouching darker. Yeah, we will do like, let's say this light green of the branches, then we will do the yellowish green of these heads and yellow around the flowers, some pinky. And then we go again repeating with this darker, already, let's say we can mix green with black and have like go over again with these accents, yeah, of, and then of course, well, the bird is should be quick. The only important there is kind of try to keep this light part of the bird, yeah, so it's almost leaving the white paper or just very lightly watery orangey in those two parts, yeah, so then it will give the shape. Yeah. Yeah, shall we move to green, Darren?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, good. So emerald green on my side, and I'm mixing it with white. And we go all around the branches and the other halves of the leaves. Huh? Yeah, and also try mixing slowly, so more white, less emerald, and then see, yeah, if need a bit more. And I use kind of just already like flat medium brush, yeah, so not thin, and that's it. Then I just go all around the branches, and then of course you will see that it covers some parts of our this green that we were putting. Yeah, that's why I mentioned we will then be repeating these accents. Be careful not to color the legs of the bird. Yeah, so with this painting, it's easy to mix because it's lots of details. And we are not doing the heads of the, yes, just branches and the half leaves, yeah. And I do it very loosely, so I don't, when I get to the leaf, I'm not very, let's say, careful. Of course, I try not to touch a lot the dark part, but of course, my brush gets over it, and it's okay. So. All right. Yeah. Like this part should also go pretty much quick, I imagine. And the next mix, so actually continue using my emerald, yeah, or these leftovers that it was mixed with yellow, sorry, with white. And now I add a bit of yellow that I also already have on my palette when I was using the mix with black. Yeah, and also don't go not too much yellow. You know, yellow is also powerful in overtaking. Yeah, but of course now I make my mix warmer. And also if it feels too lighten up it with white, yeah, if it gets a bit too bright, yeah. And this will be for the heads, so just warmer green, and can go all around where you find your heads. Good. And no worries, probably, you know, you're gonna miss some of them, and just during, you know, you paint the rest, you find, oh, here is one leaf that I missed, here is one head that I missed. Then just use the leftovers of the paint and let me know if I'm rushing, or the next step will be with the yellow, maybe a little bit greenish, yeah. So if you don't like this yellow, like very, so I added a little touch of some green, but of course it's yellow, and I go around, so inside the flowers, yeah, just again making sun around this, yeah. And what also happened to me, that I was constantly forgetting these inside circles of the flowers, so then can come back and do just some also the same dark, this brownish, this muddy green, yeah. But this yellowish is giving a nice accent, and we can use it also for the legs of the bird. Yeah. And also maybe just some yellow touch-ups in the bird, a little bit, yeah, because we're gonna go with orange, like not orange, the peachy, but maybe where the mouth of the bird can be yellowish, and the legs, yeah, because it's also kind of distinguish a bit, so that we say, aha, these are the legs, these are not the branches. And so we have pink and peachy to work with. So I will put so I'm putting this pink on my palette, and I will mix it with yellow and also kind of make two variations. So one will be still more to pinky for the flowers, but adding yellow, it will again make it warmer, a bit similar like we did with with this green. We used this cold green for branches and warmer green for heads. And so instead putting just pink pure, I add some yellow in it, and like maybe even without adding white at the moment, I go for flowers, and then I add white, it becomes peachy, and I go for the bird. So actually this painting color-wise is very pleasant, because you use really few colors and they all matching in between. And while I was preparing, I was kind of nicely surprised. I'm coming back for my thin brush, the same I did sketches with, and just in some places going around repeating these muddy green lines, but also don't overdo. Don't go around every flower or every line of the flower. You can also notice that open flowers, they don't have this these pink lines, only those closed flowers, so only the ones where we had those heads on. So this is also something kind of we can so just this few pinky touch-ups. Brings also nice freshness. So, nice. And with the bird, please clean well your brush. So I have it now clean, maybe even wipe with a paper towel, because now I will take some white, get in this orange peachy mix, but still so this belly part, it's very light, so you will probably almost not see it on the camera. It's like very later. Of course, one can also, if you made it too dark, just go on top with white paint if it works, but not over darkening it at the first place is always good. Then we get this transparency, because then the paper is still kind of a bit, you can see through, and cover kind of bigger amount with this light pinky. You can even color all the bird, and then just with a few strokes, you get this brighter orange on those parts. Yeah, and then when you get like to the part where you want to blend in between this darker orange part, you should also wash your brush. And I wash it very, very kind of a long time in my water, and I wipe it again. And then with the clean brush, I do the blending in between. Yes? Because it's very easy to bring dark into the white. Yeah, so like if you're doing it and it all still looks pale, then it's easy. You just one touch and you have it darker. Yeah? But saving this light spot, then it's hard. Yeah? And the birdie was kind of good. Yeah. Also take a look at the tail of the bird, and one can actually on purpose prolong it a bit, you know, do a bit yeah, so looks nicer. So if it's got eaten, maybe it's a little bit nice. It's not even 1 hour, because I was worried a bit how we do with time. Yeah, pretty much complicated, but yeah, taking looks nice. So next step would be putting blue all around. For this, I also advise to work like I do myself. I work with 2 brushes. Yeah, one a bit smaller, one a bit wider. So then it's like parallel with the bigger brush. Yeah, I put the paint, and then at the same time I change, and with the smaller brush just get into the details. Yeah, because of course we have lots of small corners. So it's just yeah, and then once you get again to the more open space, then with the bigger brush it's easier, you cover the space. Another advice that I would make is that if possible you use blue not mixed, so just from the tube. Yeah, doesn't matter. So let's say you choose, maybe I want this one that it's more greenish, or maybe I want this one is more purple. And why? Because it's a big space to cover, and you know that you mix the paint and it's gone. And then of course it's not always easy to get the same combination. So it's just easier. You keep on adding paint from the tube as much as you need. And then later, what I did, so when I had all covered with the one blue, then I created another mix, and let's say maybe did some extra strokes. Yeah, also let's say if you go maybe vertical stroking for the base layer, then next when I did this mix with 2 blues, then I went horizontally, and then it also helped kind of cover the empty spaces and create a bit of other tone. So of course it will be too boring like a poster if the blue is just one blue. Then of course it's good to play a bit, some are a bit darker, some a bit lighter, and also these 2 blue combinations. So I will start bluing, unless you have, I don't know, questions, comments, or
Go for it.
Yeah, good. Darren gave me the green light. Nice, nice, nice. Also, a tip when doing such things. So when you put, let's say, background color towards to something already painted, some object. So if there is a place where you need to get a really straight line connection, then it's actually about holding your brush. So you don't, so let's say here, this flower. So I don't go with the end of my brush like this, I go with the side. And here I get the straight line, yes? And then I turn and, yeah, so getting a straight line in connection with other object is having, yeah, the side of your brush, yeah, not these fluffy ends. Yeah, then it's easier to have it. Yeah, and at this moment, I'm also not very, let's say, scared if some blue gets in, because as I said, we will be doing this dark green retouch. Yeah, this retouch is a must, because otherwise, yeah, in general, also like coming back in the, like going towards the end of your painting, you always see and should re-put your accents. Yeah, re-put the dark and light places. And one more piece of advice on putting this blue: if where possible, try to get in between the flowers, because it gives this nice feeling that, yeah, there is air space in between. Yeah, so let's say, yes, not only around of what we've painted and big space in between, but also some small spaces in between the branch or in between the two flowers. We'll make it nicer, like more detailed, let's say. It's also nice to study different brands of acrylics. So this big blue tube that I showed you I'm using now, it was one of those not expensive acrylic sets. I was experimenting with pouring acrylics, yeah. And I found it, oh, it's so transparent, it's so kind of not covering well, yes. But for this painting, for this task, it's so perfect. It's somehow more fluidish, or yeah, so this shows that actually there is no good or bad. It's really about where you use it, for what purpose. Yeah, so yeah, the same with the paper. One continuous exploring. Yeah, you buy some album, and I always like getting some new brand and see and how the paper is, And you can do it only by buying and painting on it and practicing. It's also like you can read some blogs and people, of course, describe the qualities, but in the end, it's your personal also how you like to paint. Yes. So again, let's see where the bird is and where his head. I put my brush just parallel, and then I can get just like the line is more straight. And you also remember, so if your paint is, let's say, more thin and it's leaving those brush strokes, don't waste time trying to make the first layer perfect. You will never reach it. It's just letting it dry and putting the second layer will be so quickly and will cover all your yeah, all those lines. If there are any. So. Couldn't decide. Is it meditating or is it tiring? And discovering. And yeah, so especially you can see the strokes on the big area. Yeah, of course, in between the flowers, not. So this is what I'll do. Then I'll just create some other blue tone. So let's say I'll take the same blue and we'll add just another. And then can go, let's say, with the horizontal strokes. Yes, also, if you're putting a thin layer of acrylics, then they dry almost momentaneously. And alrighty. And maybe some spaces in between the, like some parts you can leave with the original blue, yes, and some can have this double blue. So you can also like how nice. How's bluing, guys?
Yeah, getting there, I think.
Good. What about you, Karen?
Yeah, I cheated and used a big brush.
Even in between all the flowers you manage.
Yeah, no, I haven't done in between the flowers. I'm gonna have to use a smaller brush for that. I just kind of did the big bit because I was getting a bit behind.
Yeah, that's good.
I
That's good.
probably won't glue it all now. I'll probably do some of it later.
Mm. Good. Then I'll wait. Yeah, no rush. We are really good on time. So take your blue time, and then we will do together those dark green retouch-ups. This is also one of my favorite parts because then it kind of brings painting together and more like to the end finished. Yeah. And then you can think if you want to imitate the written Japanese signs, or you skip this part. I found it a bit like entertaining because I was looking at the original painting and just trying to draw, but especially because it's a handwritten sign, so it's the same, like say, if some like the doctors are famous for having very unclear handwriting, so imagine if it happens in Japanese. And but it's like it suits to the painting, those signs, they kind of I will remove my tape because still we will be working just inside the painting, and it simply looks nicer with this no blue lines. Then it's kind of what I was also surprised to know that originally this painting is actually not that big at all. Let me check. So it's okay. Yeah, it's I have it in centimeters. Not sure how it fits because I never understand when someone names fits in inches. It's like I have no idea how big or small it is. But so it's actually smaller than A4 size, the original painting.
Wow.
And I was literally shocked. I was like, what? And he makes it on the wooden block. So Hokusai, he was famous on having his art on wooden blocks. And try all those details in such size. I wonder how many blocks he had, to throw away, and I don't know, or maybe he did it with one go. And let's say, so the date when he painted is 1834. So approximately, it's probably not. The name of this haiku poem, so of the poet, is Setsumon. No, the Setsumon is the school name. Oh no, that's correct. Yeah, Bunrai and Setsuman That's the name of the poet, and there's obviously then the school of his name. No, so I will just read what the information I have while you do the blues. So the Bullfinch is featured in a ceremony conducted at the New Year all over Japan. Yeah, so probably some symbolic bird. So a wooden bullfinch acquired the previous year is exchanged for a new one, which is blessed to protect again misfortune in the coming year. Yeah, so you kind of change your birds, and the new bird comes to keep on protecting you. So it says the bullfinch bird is slightly larger than a sparrow. Yeah, so probably, yeah, this. And in this painting, Hokusai depicts the male bird. Yeah, it's distinguished by some pink marking on the cheek to throat. No idea how female bird looks like. It's more white or. Yeah, so and then so Hokusai, he's like in the rhythmically mixes flower buds, yeah, with blossoms. So it's kind of a game of. All right. Don't have more. Yeah, once you're ready for these black touch-ups, you let me know. Yeah, because then I'm like waiting. So,
Yeah,
no rush.
on there.
Darren, what's your thoughts? I'm watching your face, trying to guess. Happy or not?
Not sure about the blue background, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Yes, believe me, once we do those black, dark green touch-ups, it will retake the shape, because now, of course, blue also got over some parts. Yeah, just kind of with the paint, with the brush, we're not so precise. So now we're kind of again, getting blue out and putting this darker on top. Yeah. So I'll use the black that I already have on my palette, and we'll put just medium green and mix these two. So mix the black and the green. Yeah, so the aim is to have this, anyway, it's kind of almost looking like black, but but not to have the black pure. So some green in it nicer. And it will be a bit similar like the start. So the thin brush, yeah, sketching. Here, you already try to feel where you need a bit more water. Maybe in some parts you need less water. Let's say, for example, I want to do some touch-ups on the bird, and maybe, yeah, like maybe around the eye. Also want to have it a bit darker. I mean, there you can actually go just directly with black, yeah, in case if you're, yeah, so there maybe not so watery. Why? Because it's a small area and it's an accent. But when we go where those halfly leaves are, yeah, then we do the brush more watery because then it just paints easier. Yes. So this is the difference, that when there is less water, yeah, the brush paints worse. And that's how we get this technique of brush strokes. No? But when I need a thin, long line, then I just go with the water. Yeah, so here I made some accent on the head, around the eye and mouth, and also go for some of these fur lines. Yeah, yeah, especially because the bird is where we want to put the accent. Yeah, also this black line where the tail is. Yeah. So now we are like reviving our painting, but already, you know, deciding. So of course not everywhere. You say, okay, here yes, here no. Yes. Because in the end, that's the story. You can't have everything looking the same. You always have main heroes and background. Yeah, so okay, I did the bird, and now I can go a bit watery, and again, just making darker some parts. Yeah, so basically now I start with these halfly leaves, make again some side of it darker, but also repeating the other side, just the contour. Yeah, but of course I keep the light green. And then the tree, yeah, I find it also with dots. Yes, on one side more, the other side almost none. Yeah, and those dots on the tree, it's just pointing. Yeah, so it's yeah, so here we go easily on top of our blue. Yeah, so also the three parts that is in between the legs of the bird. Yeah, there are also more. Yeah, it's this part is kind of, it's darker and has more black dots there. And some leaves I'm kind of on purpose just making longer these strokes. It's a bit maybe a bit even bigger than in original, but it's again just working as an accent. Yeah, so we are working with these black touch-ups mainly on the branch. Yeah, and when it goes about the branch, try to choose. Yes, one side has more and the other side stays with this thin line. Yeah, so maybe not necessarily go everywhere. Yeah, because then it's nice. We'll stay this first line of this sketchy, yeah, muddy green. Now it looks much more pale, and then you will reach this effect. Yeah, that something is darker, something. Yeah, but you can notice once you get those blackies, it's like, oh, well, now it's the painting starts talking.
Mine's definitely not talking to me.
Not even a word from the birdie.
Mine's saying, more practice with tiny brushes.
You say, yeah, I'm just starting. I've been doing lots of paint, big strokes. Yeah, I continue watching your art on the wall. It's like,
Thank you.
I mean, like from my point of view, I wished also to get in this area. So yeah, and maybe leave my small brushes for.
I do lots of finger painting with credit cards.
Yes, this is one practical thing that in my case it's a bit somewhat economical, and I've been doing. Yes.
Yeah, you do go through a lot of paint, it has to be said.
It was actually also one of the, so when I did this pouring acrylics experiment.
Oh yeah.
There, of course, there are many, like also you need the space, of course, and where it's all gonna be flowing.
Yeah.
But then you do something wrong, it's all messy, and you need new canvas. And I thought, okay, maybe somewhat in the future when I don't know.
Yeah, I must admit I've kind of went, oh, I would want to try that, but I have resisted so far because I'm just like, well, I don't have the paint and I don't have the canvases.
Yeah.
And as you said, I mean, I make a mess with my paint anyway. But by the time it's fluid and you're pouring it, you can get it everywhere.
But in this pouring, I think it's also, I've seen sometimes you can use paints from the construction shop, you know.
Yeah.
And then of course it's cheaper because then you buy the big.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna go for the Japanese writing, but I will open them. The original. Let's see. Yeah, so then it's a little bit more somewhat similar. And then I will change for this longer brush that I was showing you in the start. Here it is. Yeah. What interests actually like the calligraphy, you know, is in art.
Yeah.
Have never tried, but could be also a nice experiment.
My handwriting is so bad that I will never.
Staying quiet, yeah.
Maybe it's actually will be the plus when you do the calligraphy, you know. Maybe it's
It'll improve. Mm.
yeah. I was trying to learn Chinese in some moment, and it's also like it's really the sequence how you write all those signs also important. So
Yeah.
I have no idea how they do it. Like, of course, I mean, somehow they do. Of course, they learn it as kids in school, but
That's the thing, isn't it? It's much easier for children to absorb language than it is for us as we get older.
So true. But what also, for example, I've noticed that it's always easier once you have, let's say, one foreign language, then getting the third and more, it becomes easier.
Okay.
It's also kind of just stepping out of this one language zone.
Yeah.
Yes, I've noticed at least that's like the tendency.
How many languages do you speak, Evie?
Yeah, I kind of I was just traveling a lot, living different countries, so but maybe around 5 or yeah, it's like I speak Spanish, I speak German, and then Latvian and Russian, and now I'm trying to because I did my Erasmus studies in Italy, and then my Italian was very good, but then after I lived in South America, and then of course Spanish kind of took over. I'm planning a trip to Italy, so I'm trying now to revive my Italian, and I've been listening to some podcasts, and like you can understand everything, but when you speak, then it's the Spanish words that come out, and it's curious somehow. Like, let's say German, it never went away. It somehow has its own box there, but between Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese, it's just yeah. So if you're in the country, you use it, you speak this, but then if you change for other, then yeah, it gets replaced. So somehow probably this similarity is all right. Got my Nice. And Darren is sending us something. Yay! Take a look if you can see. So maybe I'll just so the terms so you can see. Go. No, it doesn't want to turn. Okay, nothing to do.
Darren, can you hold it up to your camera?
Yep.
Yes, actually it will, because it's also the screen is.
Oh, that's a great eye on that bird.
Yes. Nice, Darren. Okay, let me. Okay, it's turned. Turned, very nice. Well, I mean, it really looks nice, just because somehow I have to tell some comments, you know. But like, don't take them as so. Like the branches. My phone is not. So the branches, I feel they're all the same thickness. They are all thin all along from the top till the bottom. Yeah, if you notice, like here on the top, it's like the bigger part. Yeah, and then of course these are like a thin, and then here under the flower also gets more fat. So this changes. Yes, one should kind of remember to follow, because at this moment, like the feeling is like, how's this bird actually is sitting on this thin branch? Yeah, it should break. So just like the bird, yes, like very, very much, especially all this part on top of the branch, where the legs are and the tail somehow got very nice with this pink, with this peachy combination white and this black, accents. And cool, Karen, can we see yours?
Yes, I don't have WhatsApp. Shall I just hold it up? Is that okay? I'm let me see. I'm not. Hold on a minute, because I've got I've turned off my self view.
We see you. I see you. Yes. Yeah. You're taking also a big size, a big format.
I did it on A3 because I can't quite cope with being too small. I can't get it in the right place. Can you see it now?
Yeah, we see it.
That's great.
Wow.
Well, it's very unfinished, and I think the same with Darren, that my branches are probably all the same size, and I obviously don't work as fast as everybody else on.
No, first the big size, of course, it's more work. So I'm glad still you have it, and if you have time, you finish yourself. I like very much the stylization of your flowers. Those heads and with the white at the bottom, like it. Yeah, it's gives some like personal touch. Let's say, okay, that's current style. Cool.
I actually thought when I was looking at the picture, when I was sketching it, they looked like bells. So that's probably why they've come out kind of like bells.
Yeah, that's a good description. Yeah. Don't know if I feel maybe the eye is a bit too black. Yeah. Maybe when it's dry, it's just this whiter line can.
I also think that your comment for Darren that the branches are all kind of the same size is also true for me.
So it's good that Darren did this. So kind of helps, So of course, sharing helps. And exactly. Then we just study and we see. Here on top a bit fat. Maybe behind. So just like it's also varying. Then of course, it's like in general. Going towards flowers, the tree becomes thin. And when it's the middle part, so it's good. You still currently have time to kind of. And it's actually, let's say, it can easily be done, even let's say if it's a quick drawing and in the end you had your branch and like it's all thin. So you just add these black dots, let's say on top of the blue. Yes. And just like this already. So I keep my the thin line of green, I keep it, and I make my branch bigger just by these black dots, yeah, putting on top of the blue. So yeah, because of course you need to keep this light green, yeah. And then these black dots can help you create more thickness in some parts, and yeah, so cool. Yay.
Well, let's see what Mel comes up with this afternoon.
Yes, yes. So Mel is joining the session in the afternoon. So so she will be, yeah. Nice. Hope you enjoyed the lesson.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot,
Thank
Evie.
you. Yeah, thank you, Evie.
See you
Yay.
next week.
Yeah, then see you next week. Not sure yet. Suggestions are welcome. I think actually no. I think the bunny is planned.
I think it's a bunny next week, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's the Easter bunny, isn't it? We're doing.
Because I was already sketching it, and for the afternoon session for this famous art, I think I'll go. I found one really nice painting of one gog, a tree that I haven't seen before, and yeah, I'll message later so you can also check. Yeah.
Great
Cool.
stuff.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Bye.
See you next
Bye
week.
bye. Yeah. Thanks
Have a
for
good week.
joining.
Catch you there.
Bye.
Bye.